Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here with one of our favorite interviews, Elaine Taylor-Klaus from Impact ADHD. Elaine, you want to talk about Designed Alliance today. Now, and by the way, Elaine's she specializes in parent coaching, and so this is a great contextual thing. So take it away.
Right. So this is a fabulous tool to use with kids, teens, and also with spouses. Okay, and it's a communication strategy. So it's a framework for sort of asking for what you want in a way that another person can receive it. Because a lot of times we want to try to get our kids to, or get our spouses to, or fill in the blank, and they get defensive because, you know, we all know how that happens. So the idea is to set it up where you start by offering something. So the design is here's what you can count on me for. You can count on me to show up and be present to you and engage with you in this interview. And what I need from you is to have the equipment and make sure we know what we're talking about before we get started. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So that's how I might have designed with Jeff before this conversation, but we didn't, but we could have.
So you just walk into that with that mentality of this is what I'm going to do first, and then you ask what you're looking in return. And what if there's a counter to that?
Well, before you get to the there's usually not if you start with a gift. So with a teenager, you can count on me to support you and help you get to see your friends and get where you need to go, or support you with your homework, or make sure you have dinner. And I just need you to let me know when you're going to be late, or I need you to ask for the help when you're really struggling with something, or I mean, whatever it is. If you start with an offer and then you ask for something, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be receptive to it because they want to be in relationship with you, right? They're not looking to escape necessarily. They just want it to feel fair. And it feels fair if you start with, I'm giving you this.
Yeah. Well, what I like about that, too, is by pointing out what you're paying attention to, you begin to highlight everything that you do in the process, because I do think a lot of people take things for granted, and it's sometimes have this thing about practicing gratitude. You have to practice it because problems rule your day, and you have to deal with those. And if you don't practice gratitude, it just gets swept on the floor. And if people are not drawn to the tension of kind of what's happening, it kind of gets out of sight, out of mind. And this is an easy way of giving the gift to bring that to their attention. And
you have to think about what your gift is.
Yes.
Right? You have to take the time to say, okay, what is it that I'm bringing to this? Because a lot of times parents, we get caught up in the whole resentment of I'm doing absolutely everything. So this gives you a way to say, okay, this is what I'm offering, and to get clear on it without all of the baggage that comes with it. And I just need this, and it's usually what we need is pretty simple. If you really bottom line it, it's pretty simple. You know, and
it's interesting to me because I'm thinking that's an interesting exercise. It's kind of like sometimes I ask people to do a success journal, and they have to like write down their successes, or like if for time management, they come in and say, well, look, can you write down all the times that you were on time? And it's funny because they're like, what? And it's hard for them at first. They don't recognize it, but and after a while they start to get it, and it's really funny. Well, I made 27 appointments this week. I only missed 3, and it kind of, well, let's look at what worked on those. Exactly. And the same thing here is, I think it's just it's a lot impact in that. It's a great tip.
It's a powerful one. Yeah, and it works with spouses really, really well too.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, really well. Like partners, spouses. I've had clients who've called and said, I used it with my boss.
Wow.
And it really works in the workplace because it's a fundamental coaching concept. It's just, we design alliances in the world all the time. Marriage vows, we design alliances. And this is just about making conversations that are unspoken, spoken.
I like that. To learn more about Elaine Taylor-Klaus, and you should, she's got a great website called Impact ADHD. Lots of great tips there. Learn more about me, go to digcoaching.com and subscribe. Right down here, that little button that says subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and every week you'll get an email with a tip, or you can peruse. I think there's 250 of them already out there. About 10 or 15 of them with Elaine because there's good stuff. So anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this edition. Take care.